All right, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well today. It is Daniel Wiafe, the house flipping ninja, and I have my friend and my students and fellow buff human being, Mrs. Felicia Cox, down in Dallas, Texas. How you
Hey,
doing today, Felicia?
I'm doing great.
All right, all right. Hey, you gotta give everybody a flex. Say flex.
There we go, y'all.
Damn.
The flexing.
Felicia always be flexing on me. So Felicia is actually one of my all-star students from Dallas, Texas. She came on board a couple months ago. How long ago was it, Felicia?
It's been exactly about 90 days.
About 90 days. Okay.
Yeah.
And so she came on board and she was super positive. She was super energetic. She did what I told her to do, you know, and she had success. She actually closed her first deal. And we're going to get to the specifics on that deal here in a second. But before we get started with this interview, you guys, I want you to go ahead and like this video. I want you to comment on the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know your name, what city and state you're from. And I want you to also go to my website at houseflippingdojo.com if you're looking for training on how to wholesale houses. That being said, you guys, Felicia closed the deal pretty quickly.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes, I did. Yes,
All right. So tell us a little bit about that deal that you closed and why you're smiling so big.
Okay, well, I reached out to you. Let me tell y'all, when I say I stumbled up on Daniel, like I stumbled up on him. I think one day he just came across my Facebook feed and I saw him and his wife. They work out people, and I'm like, I got very interested in that. So I started stalking his page, and him and his wife just had a lot of really good energy. So I signed up for his course, which is amazing, and he set up an action plan for me to follow, which I followed it somewhat to the T. I mean, we still we got it done, but I thought I could kind of do it my way, but I saw that I couldn't. So, but anyway, I put out bandit signs. He said get about 50 bandit signs and put them out. So my idea was to go back to Little Rock, Arkansas, because that's where I'm originally from, even though I've been living in Dallas, Texas for over 20 years. But Little Rock is a smaller market, and I know the area really well in Little Rock. So I put out bandit signs in September 1st is when I put out about 50 bandit signs. And my phone started ringing immediately, like that same day. And I got nervous. I started sweating underneath my armpits. I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Oh my God. So I called Daniel real quick. Yeah. I called Daniel. It's like, oh my God, Daniel, I have a deal. So I went on quite a few appointments. I did, and one lady, she contacted me. She had inherited a house from her dad, and it was actually in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Now, I know about Pine Bluff, but I don't know about Pine Bluff. I really don't know the area. So I met her down there to look at the house. Y'all, the house was a mess. Like, nothing that I would remotely even step into. Okay, call me bougie, call me bougetto, whatever you want to call me. Bougetto. But technically I wasn't thinking like an investor because this was all new for me. So she took me around the house. I'm thinking, okay, great. Let's talk about it. We started, pointing out some of the good stuff, pointed out a lot of the bad stuff. And so I did ask her, I said, well, if I come in and pay all cash, no closing costs, no fees, what's the lowest you would take? And she said $15,000. So underneath my breath, she probably heard me. I'm like, this house ain't worth for $15. And she wants $15,000. I was like, no, ma'am. I said, well, just from the looks of it, and again, I started pointing out it's going to need a roof, it's going to need floors, the bathrooms, the kitchen, everything needs to be redone. I said, the most I'm going to be able to offer you is $8,000. And so she kind of looked at me and she was like, 8,000? I said, yeah, 8,000 is the most I'm going to be able to do. Taking in mind, I don't know anything about this area. I just know that 15 wasn't the number. So immediately, she signed up. So I started marketing right after that when she signed up.
Nice, nice, nice. And so what problems did you go through? Because you were down in Dallas, Texas, and she was down in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I think you said it's about what, a 3-hour journey?
It's a 4.5-hour drive. So I was driving back and forth from Dallas to Little Rock every weekend. I would leave Saturday morning and come back Sunday night. And it really wasn't a huge deal because my whole family lives there. You know, my mom's there. So I got a chance to, visit my family. So it really wasn't a huge deal for me to run back and forth until it was hard for me to, move the property. That's when it kind of started getting a little exhausting and, overwhelming for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you ever feel like giving up on the property?
Absolutely. Okay, so, and then, you and I, we talked about this, and you was like, girl, you still dealing with that property? Yes, I'm still dealing with this property. So every time, like towards okay, back up. So I marketed the property. Okay. Got tons of phone calls. Well, when people will realize where this property was located, they're like, oh, no, that's a bad area. No, I don't buy in that area. I don't invest in that area. I'm like, okay. So 2 weeks later, I dropped the price. Okay. Still, again, tons of phone calls, tons, people calling. Once they found out where the house was located, no, I don't buy in that area. I'm not interested. No, I'm thinking, wow. I started getting very discouraged, So, you and I talked, and I said, Daniel, nobody is buying in this area, And then that's when you reminded me of your first deal that I think you had it for like 6 months, but you didn't give up, and you finally, moved the property. And I'm thinking, Fee, one last chance to move this property. Don't give up. One more. I was giving it one more chance, because going back and forth at this point, I'm getting discouraged. Okay. So I went back down there, dropped the price again. I started getting tons of phone calls. And one guy, he said, well, I'm going by the house now. He said, okay, this is a pretty decent house. It's a corner lot. He said, it's a bad neighborhood, but it's not as bad as others. Ding, ding, ding. When he said that, boom, I knew I was going to get him. I knew I was, because he knew the area was bad, but when he said it wasn't as bad as other areas, I knew I had a chance. And I told him, I said, look, if you are serious, I've sent you videos, I've sent you photos. If you are serious about this house, I will come down, but I want us to be very clear that we're signing a contract. Okay? I told him a little bit. We signing this contract. And he was like, okay. And like the next week he called, he said, hey, I just want to make sure we're still on for Saturday. And I'm like, okay, well, this guy's is serious, So I went back down there and he signed the contract.
Boom. So I'm talking about signing the contract.
Yes.
And I love the fact, Felicia, how you took the lead in the conversation. You basically told him what was going to happen. You basically said that, hey, we meet up, we're signing this contract. You left no room for doubt in his head.
Right.
And one of the things, you guys and gals that are listening to this video, that I tell all students that are in my academy is you only need one buyer for your property. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And no matter how good your property is, you're always going to get people, for whatever reason, they just don't want to buy your property. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, if you have a property in a more desirable area and maybe it needs less work to it, then you're going to have, people that would actually bid on your property. But for most students, what I've seen, Felicia and everybody else listening to this, always your first property is the hardest. And so Felicia was talking about my first property. I actually had it for about 7-8 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was hell. And you know, wound up making $6,500 off of it. And then the second deal came within 2 weeks from start to finish, and I made $5,000 off of that. And then that led to me doing a $30,000 deal
Oh wow.
on my fifth deal. And so the thing that I would say, people that are listening to this, is don't give up.
Yes.
Keep moving forward.
Yes.
And you will get discouraged, because I got
Yes.
discouraged on my first deals. Felicia, she got a little bit discouraged.
Yeah, I got a little bit, but you know, the lady who I helped was super, super nice. She was super kind. And it wasn't even about the profit anymore, because, you know, I had set it to make this big profit, and, you know, my profit started going down. And at this point, I really just wanted to help her, even though I knew I was still going to make a profit off of it. But I really wanted to help her. And I called her and I said, I wasn't going to give up on this deal. I said, and I'm not going to give up on you, because I knew her pain points. You know, I knew that she needed a new roof for her house, but she needed to sell this house in order to get a roof. So I really wanted to help her. And when I threw out making this big profit, when I threw that out the window and I just strictly focused on her, it seemed like my buyer just came just like that. I mean, after I dropped the price too, you know, so.
And I like that. I like the fact that you brought that up, Felicia, because I didn't even think about it until just now. When you have the mindset and the psychology that you're going to help other people with their problem, then somehow, you know, God will always come in. If you don't believe in God, call it the universe, whatever you're supposed to
I
vote.
believe in God. I believe it was God with this one. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, things will be open for you supernaturally, you know, when you have in your mindset that I'm going to help people. And that's exactly what happened with you, Felicia, you know. And so tell us real quickly about your background before real estate and what got you into real estate.
Okay. Well, my dad actually passed away 10 years today. Today is his 10-year anniversary of him passing, and he left me our childhood home. So I've basically been renting that out for the last 10 years. So I knew at some point in down the road in my life that I want to own rental property. I want to have passive income so I can quit my job like everybody wants to do, and, you know, live off my passive income. So a couple of years ago, I got really, really sick. I went in for surgery. It was supposed to be an in and out surgery. And it's no secret, I was having a hysterectomy. That's not anything that, you know, women have it all day, every day, you know. So I went in, had the surgery, and I woke up. It ended up being a 6-hour surgery. It was supposed to be like a 2-hour surgery. And when I woke up, I had no idea what happened. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm awake and everything went well. Well, the doctor accidentally cut my bladder. And when she did that, I just felt like the carpet was just snatched from underneath me, because now I'm dealing with a perfectly healthy, and I went in like this, Daniel, healthy person, and I came out. I had to pretty much, my husband had to help me walk again. I had to learn how to breathe. It was just a whole lot that went through that recovery. So the urologist on call came in to repair me, and come to find out, he did not repair me correctly. So long story short, I went through a process of this bladder that's damaged that, you know, I'm having to recover from, and then have a second surgery on. But in the meantime, in all of that, I end up getting depressed. I end up getting anxiety. I end up gaining a lot of weight, and through this whole healing process. And I remember one day I came into my office and I was just in such a bad headspace. And I just started writing things down. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I started writing down.
Hold it up to the camera. Okay.
My short-term goals. And on here, it's just like a 5-year plan. And one of the goals that I have on here is to purchase properties in 5 years. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what. I just knew that I was going to do it. And I put on here, think retirement, stay focused. Well, 2 years later, I bring out my little sticky note again. I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to start focusing on my goals. You know, now that I'm back healthy, I'm back working out, I'm back mentally capable of thinking positive. That's when you came across my feed, my Facebook feed. And then that's when I reached out to you. But I also started going on YouTube and I started watching all of your videos. There's a few other guys that I watch their videos too that are very positive, and all of y'all were pretty much saying the same thing, which made me feel very at ease with it. It didn't seem like it was a scam, you know what I mean? And when I would listen to your testimonies of your students, it just sounded real. It didn't sound like an infomercial, you know? So before I signed up with you, I ended up going to a real estate investment class for like 3 days, you know, that 3-day stuff. And I'm thinking, okay. And I learned, and let me tell you, I learned a lot. I did not give them the $50,000 they wanted, but
how much? How much?
$50,000.
Woo!
Yeah.
How come you didn't pay me $50,000?
Exactly. They will. Let me tell you, if I have 50 to give you, your program is worth it, you know. But I did not have 50,000 to give them. But I came across you, and I felt that your program was very doable, very reasonable, and so I signed up. I signed up for it, and I jumped. I remember Steve Harvey said in one of his quotes, he's like, "Hey, if you want to be successful and if you want to do things in life, you're just gonna have to jump, and you're gonna have to worry about the parachute later." You know, and so when we spoke at that point, I was at the jumping point. Like I was getting ready to jump, and I jumped, and there was some, you know, bumps along the way, and there was some discouragement, you know, along the way. But during my process of healing from my bladder injury, I had a lot of patience because I had to sit. I had to literally sit for a whole year to heal my body, and in the process, I was healing my mind, my soul. I mean, everything. So when I did this wholesaling deal, I'm like, Fee, you can do this. Just slow down, pause, and stick with it. Yeah. Don't stop. And when I took on that attitude, that buyer came, my seller was happy. I got my check in the mail. And hey, it's on to the next one. It's on. And I just thank you, Daniel. I thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for everything that you have taught me and that you are teaching me. And I'm grateful, and I'm thankful for that.
Oh, thank you, Felicia, and I'm glad that you shared your testimony with us. You know? Because you never even told me about. I mean, I knew that you had bad health at points and that you worked your way back up, but I didn't know like it was that severe. And and that's something which I'm sure there's going to be a good percentage of people that are watching this right now that had gone through life issues, maybe medical issues, maybe personal issues or whatever, and they're going through depression, you know, and everybody goes through that, you know. And one thing that you can learn from Felicia, those of you guys that are watching, is Felicia has a very, very strong and good and a positive personality. And you need to do whatever you need to do to push yourself forward. And the one thing that Felicia did was she put her goals in front of her. And that was probably one of the things which gave her a light at the end of the dark tunnel, you know, that she pushed through. And so now she's back healthy. She has 2 successful businesses. She is competing again, you know. And the sky's the limit for her. So let me ask you this, Felicia. If you had to do the whole process again, would you do it again? And I'm talking about the real estate process.
Absolutely. the only thing I would change about the process is don't deviate from the plan that you gave me. I was so quick on, wanting to get the deal, get the deal, get the deal, get the deal. And I got the deal. Literally, I got the deal a week later when I put those bandit signs out. Like, it didn't take long to get a deal. But I should have built my buyers list first, and I've listened to tons of people on YouTube, of course. Some people say get the deal. Some people say do the buyers list. And I mean, it probably can work either way. But since I was dealing with a small town that I knew nothing about, I should have built my buyers list first. I should have done a little bit more research on the area, and I could have executed it a little differently if I had those two in place. But it was a learning experience. I learned a lot doing this deal. So I know moving forward to my next deal, I know, what to do. And y'all, I only put out 50 bandit signs. That's it. And that was in September. My phone still rings every day off just those 50 bandit signs. And you will say, and other people say, put them out every weekend. Put them out every weekend. Y'all, people are still calling me on those same bandit signs from September.
And you guys, if you're watching this in the future, if you're like watching this in 2019, 2020, 2021, it's December right now when me and Felicia are talking and recording this.
Yes, December of 2018.
Of 2018. So, I mean, that's 3 months later. She's still getting
3 months later, my phone, somebody calls at least once a day. And it's like, man, do I want to, go back to Arkansas? What do I want to do? But the market is really not that big in Arkansas, actually, because there was a young lady that called me. She was another wholesaler, and she was like, who are you? And I saw your signs, and I'm just wanting to know, who are you? And I'm thinking, okay. She kind of caught me off guard, a little bit. And I told her where I was. And I said, well, maybe we can do some business in the future. I think I was kind of peeing on her territory, and she just kind of wanted to know, who I was. And she even told me that she doesn't have luck with bandit signs. I was like, well, girl, my phone is ringing off the hook with these bandit signs. And to be honest, there are only one other bandit sign that I saw in Arkansas. That's all I've seen is just one particular number with somebody else. So I'll do business again in Arkansas, in Little Rock. I'd rather do Little Rock.
Yeah, much bigger city than
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what is your future plans? So you're out there in Dallas, Texas. What's your future plans, Felicia?
Well, currently I am actually in a project with 3 other investors. We're actually doing a remodel on a burn house. So that's almost finishing up. We're remodeling the inside, and then we're going to put it, up for sale. So that's getting to the end of, that completing. But I really want to, I still want to do the wholesaling. I'm still want to do that. But I really want to do some buy and holds. That's what I want to do, buy and hold right now. I'm in a position where I like my job. I think I have a very pretty cush job, but I have an entrepreneur spirit. I need that freedom to work for myself full time. My husband tells me all the time, I'm a genie in a bottle, like at my job. It's like, you a genie in a bottle. You just need to pop out this bottle. And right now I cannot pop out this bottle as long as I'm working for somebody else, so aggressively in 2019, I am going to do some buy and holds. Once this rehab is finished, that should be a pretty big payoff. And so I'm going to, again, reinvest that money, get it. And, hope now that I know wholesaling, go find me some houses on a wholesale price and start rehabbing them and holding them.
Good. And that's one thing, Felicia, whenever we talk next on coaching call, let's plan on updating your marketing strategies.
Yes.
What I want you to do is for your marketing strategy, look for wholesale deals, but then cherry pick the ones that you can buy and hold or even fix and flip if need be. And if you need if you need private money, I'm not sure if you have that in place right now for the rehab you're doing now, I'll point you in the right direction.
Okay. Definitely want to do that. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good deal. So you're like the Iron Diva of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
So there's people right now that are watching this and they're going to want to get a hold of you. They're going to, want to perhaps get encouragement from you, perhaps do business with you.
Okay.
What's the best way for those people to contact you, Felicia?
Well, I am on Facebook under Felicia Cox, and I'm also on Instagram under Iron Divas. That's Iron Divas with an S. Currently, I'm updating, everything, transitioning everything over as far as, the real estate. So when you go on my page, you're probably going to see a lot of bodybuilding stuff because I'm getting ready for a competition. You're probably going to see some meal prep stuff because I have a meal prep business. And you're probably going to see me and my husband singing in the car because we love singing in the car.
So, I never saw that. You guys sing good?
Like, everybody loved those videos when we started singing in the car. So you're probably going to see that for now, but just be on the lookout for me. I'm starting to transition everything over to the real estate stuff, but feel free to contact me. I know I listed my testimony on some other, real estate sites, and oh my God, those people went crazy over the arms, and just crazy about these arms. It's just something I need to incorporate this with this real estate because honey, they love these arms. But they were, people, they reached out to me. I mean, my inbox was just blowing up. I'm like, do they understand that I just started this business and I was just kind of learning as I go too, along with Daniel's plan. But feel free if you have any questions, I will answer them the best I can. But Daniel Wiafe is the man. So please, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm big on education and I'm big on paying for what I want. And I knew I had to invest in my education because I knew nothing. Like, I knew nothing about wholesaling. I just knew I wanted to buy some rental houses and rent them out, and that's it. And so when I came across your course, it was like a no-brainer for me. I was like, okay, Daniel, come on. I think you were like, you had said, I'm looking for only a certain amount of people that I'm going to, put in my program. And I was like, you should saw me in the kitchen. I'm like, whether you take me or not, I'm going to do this. And thank God he welcomed me into his program. And y'all, 90 days later, this girl, I did it. I did that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did do it. I mean, you did do it. And that's the one thing I look for, you guys. If you want to work with me, go to houseflippingdojo.com/apply, houseflippingdojo.com/apply, and fill out a quick application. And I'm not going to charge $50,000 like the other.
No, trust me, it's very affordable. Trust me, it's very affordable.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to mention, and I noticed you don't see a lot of women in this business, and I want to open that platform up for women. Like, you have to envision yourself being successful. You have to envision yourself closing your first deal. Like, I envisioned all of this. I even envisioned having this interview with you. Like, my mind is like here when I'm thinking about being successful. So when you envision yourself being able to close that first deal, being able to do the interview with Daniel, being able, like, I'm going to be speaking one day on this. I know this. I know I am. So when you envision those things, then you're speaking into existence. And I believe that's what I did here. I spoke this into existence. And I'm just blowing you up because you really helped me. And I'm just sincerely appreciate it. I'm not going to cry because I only get one cry a month and I'm not done it. So, but I just thank you, Daniel. I thank you, and I thank your beautiful wife. I thank you for y'all's presence. I think y'all have a beautiful family, and that's what I connected with. And I'm so glad that I reached out to you and you accepted me in your program.
Oh, thank you. And I mean, thank you, Felicia, for being such a positive person and for like really reaching out to me whenever you had help. And that's the one thing that I tell every student is always reach out to me when you need help. And Felicia reached out to me. She was always on our weekly phone calls, coaching calls, and she always kept me up to date with what was going on. And if she had some issues, she let me know. If she had some praise reports, she let me know. And we had good communication, and honestly, I'll tell you the truth, even without me, you still would have like had success. I'm just being real because that's just your mindset, So because I can teach you everything that you need to do in the system, but unless you have a winning mindset, you can't do it.
Yes.
So I commend you for that, Felicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So before we get going, because I know you got to get to your boxing class, and I saw some of those people that were talking in the other Facebook group, because like I remember like half of them were talking about the check, like, hey, good job, and then the other people were talking about like, girl, look at the caps on your arms. Girl. It was always it was the females they were talking about.
Let me tell you, people are crazy about these arms, and y'all, and right now they look bigger on film or pictures, because I'm really a small, petite, tiny lady, but I'm actually getting ready for a show in April, so I'm leaning out a lot, I'm building a lot of muscle, but real life, I normally don't look like this, so don't let the muscles fool you. They show muscles, y'all. Ain't no strength behind them. Sometimes I can't even open a pickle jar, but
hey, I'm like that at the gym too. I don't even like. I rarely lift heavy weights. You know, I'm always like doing reps in the kitchen and whatnot. I'm like, these are show muscles. Hey, if I get into a real fight, hey, you see Wiafe getting tossed around. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, all right. So before we get going, Felicia, I want to let you have the last word. Give everybody a piece of sage wisdom and advice, and then we'll cut this to an end.
Okay. I just want to say, and I know this kind of sounds a little cliche, if I can do it, you can do it. But literally, you just have to jump. Like, you can't hesitate. You can't pause. You just have to do it. I mean, what is it called? Analysis paralysis. Don't get stuck in that. Don't get stuck with watching a lot of videos for like 6 months. You know, get and take what you need to get from it, and then just put it into action. And, you know, and that's what I did. So I believe in this business. I'm a believer. I believe it because I've done it, and I have the check to prove it. So I just want to tell you that you can do it. Just jump.
I love it. I love it. And with that, you guys, we will end. So make sure you guys get at Felicia. Make sure you get at me if you need some training. But until the next video, you guys, jump. And the parachute will open.
All right, let's flex on them before we go.
Oh, we flexing on them? Your biceps a little bit bigger than mine. I'm jealous.